What are we talking about?
Good afternoon and good evening, UK. Hope everyone's well. And tonight we have Lois. How are you doing?
I'm getting there. Thanks.
Oh, bless you. And we have Wednesbury Paranormal. How is everyone?
Hi, thank you. You all right?
Evening.
So we start off. So you're located in the centre of England, near Birmingham.
The Black Country.
The Black Country. Yeah, I didn't want to put my foot in that one.
After Birmingham, yes.
Nowhere
Yeah.
near Birmingham.
No.
Yum,
No,
yum.
because I don't want to get a charge if I drive into the city centre with my diesel car. Because I'll get into trouble for that.
Yeah.
You get
You'll
fined.
You'll have to drive, the trams ain't working.
Oh, we have trams as well. They're good as well, aren't
Don't
they?
start, Neil.
I'm starting.
Yeah, I love trams. Not.
Andy Street, please.
Right, so how long's the team been going then?
Oh, go on then, Russ.
In relation to a team as in team, it's like, about three and a half, 4 years, but we've all been,
No, yeah.
well, especially me and John have been studying esoteric matters for 30 plus years. So, whereas a team, like social media, forced us into bringing things together and forming a team. But we've always been together doing research and 30 plus years. But it's ever since people started asking us to do events and they want to experience things, that's when the team really founded. So that's why we've got into events more than, but we're missing the research. We're missing what we do. That's why we do mini documentaries and things to, just to recoup.
We're going to get back into it a bit now, aren't we? So we do miss it.
You lose a bit of spark when you're doing events in relation to, you're too busy. It's brilliant having people there. Don't get me wrong. It's made so many brilliant friends on the events, but we still like to have time to experience, I'd say, create our experiments, etc. And I think if when we're alone in a room somewhere, your brain thinks over time. That's how we create our experiments. So but when you're doing an event, you're too bloody busy. Running around, make sure everybody's okay, to even think and absorb what's going on.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's why I've sort of gone into just booking locations and experienced people go. And we work together and we try what people want to do.
Yeah.
And it also gives people the access to do live feeds if they want as well. Because sometimes you are restricted on an event, aren't you? And like some start and you've got your table tipping, you've got this, you've got that, and you're just rolling your eyes and you just want to do something on the next level, really.
We got into a position where we're doing like one a week, so it was 4 months, and it was hard work.
Oh,
so
it is, yeah.
One was only me and Russ as well at that time.
And the public have obviously paid for the night, so they
that's right.
They want to be entertained.
Yeah. And sometimes I think it's harder if you've got that many. You can't give them all the attention that you like because you're too busy watching at the corner of your eye where people are, and you've got to keep it on top of it. I just see anyone who does events, fair play to them, but it's not something I like doing at all because I just feel that you've got the liability watching people, if anything happens, things like that. I'm just quite happy just get out in the investigation and do my own thing.
We're lucky, really. We're blessed with an absolute fantastic crowd of people who come on our event. We trust them wholeheartedly. We have people. We let people go off.
Everybody to get on with it themselves.
Yeah, we just say, crack on yourself. Here's your team for the night. Go and crack on. So we're blessed that way, but it's the sense of setting up and what we're going to say, what the vigil areas are, and who's in the team.
When you're doing that many anyway, you lose touch of what you want to do yourself as well.
Yeah,
that's right.
A lot of investigation, but we don't get time to investigate properly. You know what I mean?
Even silly things like taking a couple of photos.
Yeah.
We never seem to get a team photo.
Exactly right. You're too busy looking after the people to make sure you can get what you want yourself.
Yeah. And like you set up a vigil, and there's people there who obviously been on ghost hunts with you before, and they've also researchers or investigators, and then what you set up is not necessarily what they want to do.
Yeah,
so you've got to be aware of that. It's like we had that one the other Saturday, and one of the team, Jackie, who was there with us, if you noticed halfway through, wanted to change the aspect of the visual, and he's like, "Oh, okay." So you have to go, no, but it takes you off track, and that's the annoying thing about, we only try and aim for 6 or 7 people in a team if we can. But if you've got a gang of experienced investigators with you on an evening, it can be a bit tricky because we've all got our own aspects and opinions, and
that's right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Mine are just like open, but at the same time, I make it sort of straightforward. You can work together, and like I've taken people who aren't experienced along. Oh dear, it's not worked because they haven't had the flashing lights what they need.
Yeah, that's it.
On a public event, you've got to do things like your K2s and everything, so that people who have never done it before get something personal, don't they? They get some sort of interaction.
Yeah, that's right.
If you've done it a lot, then you want more, don't you?
Yeah, but I speak to John often about some of the things we do, and it's like sometimes we think, are we crossing the line, chasing that experience for the guest, i.e. what we did Saturday with lone vigils and touching on not taboo subjects, but the darker subjects, the darker aspects of the paranormal. So sometimes we're thinking, is our liability insurance going to cover a lone vigil in the middle of Cannock Chase, using them as bait for dark rituals?
Awesome. I want to go.
That's what we have done, and it's we have to worry about it.
Yeah, it does. The Cannock Chase one was interesting. I would have liked to have gone.
Yeah.
But
I
think I was busy.
Yeah. we did a lone vigil section in the evening where we basically used volunteers as bait for one of the cryptid lore tales that happened in the back of the forest. So blindfolded them against trees, and was about 100 foot away, and they was all armed, with different different EMF meters and different bits of tech. There was basically a tree and left there, and just to shout out if you want to bail, and we was calling forward the cryptid into the forest for them.
Brilliant. That's fantastic.
What was before the event?
I like what you do because it is, it is different, and it's an event, but it's not. Oh, it's not your tedious one, is it?
No.
That's why we're doing what we do now. We know so many. We rather go for quality rather than quantity. And we try and push the barriers. And we're pushing the barriers, so your normal Estes doesn't work with us anymore. We do a triple Estes.
Yeah.
And we do other experiments that we've got planned. I mean, some you haven't even seen yet. Some you have seen, but there's a lot you haven't seen yet. They're coming.
Well, that's right, because I've only just kind of seen 2. Well, your Estes and the other one. Right.
Forget the normal blindfold. That's all we'll say.
We tried to cross the boundaries, mix the boundaries of science.
Yeah.
With the esoteric, with the trying to mix the two together if you can. So we're using lots of frequencies, white noise, all the energies around us, because we all believe that that's where spirit grab their energy from, obviously, and use to communicate. And we try and incorporate that into folklore, into methods. So we're always trying to think outside the box.
Try to merge the two together.
Yeah, that's the word.
And the history of the place we're at as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, history and all comes together in relation to what we plan and plot for the evening.
Yeah, that's it. With Cannock Chase, I'd love to sort of go there anyway.
Yeah,
it's a big area and lots go on there.
Yeah, you was there today, weren't you, John?
Not far away. I wasn't in Cannock Chase, not far away.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds brilliant. So this experiment we did when I was there on the Saturday, the ferryman.
Do you want to go on this one, Russ, or do you want me to do it?
Well, I'll explain what, I think you're all aware who the ferryman was.
If you describe it for people, because I wasn't that sure.
Okay.
I volunteered before I knew what it's about, but I'll try anything.
Okay, so the ferryman is a fable of a law in relation to when you pass, you have to pay your toll to the ferryman to take you across into the into the den of souls, into heaven, or whatever you want to call it when we cross. And the toll was old pence, which John's got there on the eyes, and that was his toll. So your body would be on the boat going across to the den of souls with the toll on your eyeballs of the old pennies. And basically that's to give you safe passage across into the afterlife. So that's an old folklore, old tale, and I've probably got it wrong, but that is how I interpret it. And we all came together with an experiment, and John, I don't want to talk about what we did or what we do.
No, I wasn't kind of aware of what was happening in this experiment.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I took part in it. So I actually don't know what happened much around me. And I've kind of asked because I had to lay down on some chairs and everyone was in a circle around me. And basically I had a blindfold on and headphones so I couldn't hear anything other than SB7, which admittedly I didn't pay attention to the SB7. And maybe I should have done because there's a couple of times it did try and tell me something. But I didn't say because I didn't want to ruin the purpose of the experiment.
Yeah, the pennies was actually in the blindfold.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just a bit more comfortable to have them inside the blindfold over your eyes than on your actual eyes, and also
that's right.
Because obviously some people, even though they were blindfolded, they wanted to open their eyes anyway. It's just natural.
Yeah. So we put you on the chairs instead of we had no bed, so 6 chairs we'll have to do. So you have to lie down on the 6 chairs. Surrounding you with, I think we had K2s and cat balls and things like this. And your PSB7 was in your ears. You don't really necessarily have to listen to that. It's what we wanted, the experience of what you're having.
Yeah.
So if you
that's what we did with Mel. We didn't have an SB7. We just put the headphones on and left her to her own imagination, basically.
I mean, the PSB7, it was just white noise, basically just to deafen your ears so you can't hear anything else.
That's right, yeah.
Basically, just to cut you off. You had the blindfold on, you had all your senses, removed.
Yeah.
And that was all it was. So when you have...
It's a form of Estes, really, isn't it?
It's a type of Estes, that's all it is, yeah.
It is kind of.
The way I saw it, lads, and different to you, but I was hoping, which I think what occurred, it was in relation to trying to create an NDE or some kind of NDE, near-death experience for the subject. So it was for them to either open some kind of tunnel, portal, light, or whatever to the other side. It was interesting just to see if that actually occurred by using that method which we did in relation to folklore. So
that's it, because we've got Catherine watching now. Catherine was present when we did the experiment as well. So I kept quiet all the way through, and I just tried to go some place because I do meditation.
Jackie,
and I do whatever.
Jackie, was you aware that we actually said a rhyme before you started?
No, I wasn't aware of anything.
There's a rhyme that we actually said before we started.
I will say it's not a rhyme, but
I wasn't. Once I got those headphones on, I wasn't aware of anything. Because originally,
the ferryman only appears when you got your payment to take you to the other side, to take you across the stream to the afterlife. Unless that payment's not there, he won't be there. So that was the idea. We'd get the pennies, and then that might attract something else. That is the basic idea.
Yeah. So straight away, I was there. And I was laying on, and I basically got like a mine shaft or a tunnel going up from my head. So I was on my back, and all I could see was this black. Everything was totally black. But I knew it was a tunnel going up, and I knew above this tunnel was black. And I wanted to know how to rise up it. I couldn't work out how to get up there, but I definitely saw it, and there's just all this blackness, and I didn't know what was going to happen, whether I was going to get sucked up there, or I wasn't quite sure what was going on. So it's kind of an image which is still with me. It won't ever go away, I don't think, because I do. The thing is, if I have these encounters, I do remember them forever. But yeah, it's quite an image, and yeah, it's total blackness. But yeah, you knew it was like a tube, like a mine shaft, and then it was just black and it's different at the top. But yeah.
So next time we'll try and get you a bit further.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
a bit further.
I've had lessons with John. We sit in the power with him. I've tried trance as well with him, you see. So I did try and get into the power so I could actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I did try and get somewhere. As long as someone can get me back.
We're all hoping that it's a form of meditation or trance that you go under to make this visualization of the tunnel. We're hoping that it's not going to be like the film Flatliners, where we've got a resident.
Yeah.
So we're hoping all we're doing is inducing a trance.
That might be later.
Yeah. I don't think liability insurance covers the funeral costs. So.
That's it. You just say, "Oh, she's having a kip." Having a sleep. Oh, I don't know what was happening. I didn't know she was possessed by a demon.
That's what we like to push the barriers, try different things, try and get something different.
And we encountered something strange there as well, didn't we?
Yeah, sure.
Now, it was pretending to be a child.
Well, no, this is a mixed one. See,
question.
Russell can pick up on things like this, and Russell was definitely picking up on a child. Yeah?
Yeah.
I always get darker stuff.
Yeah.
I pick up on the darker elements more than anything else. So I couldn't even pick up on the child at all.
Oh, okay.
And that night, I was picking up on something darker somewhere else. But Russell definitely picked up, and he can pick up on, the lighter side of it. And he was picking up on the child, definitely. You can tell that because the answers that were coming through when he was asking questions, showing on what was we using there?
The K2 trip Y, EMF trip Y.
Every time a question was asked, then it answered to Russell only.
Just to me,
didn't answer anyone else. It was just Russell it was answering to.
I've got footage of that. I've got quite a lot of footage of that.
So yeah, I do believe that he was a child that was talking to Russell at the time.
There was a lot of children about that night.
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
it was interesting.
We kept hearing children.
We had a lot of strange things happen on that night. Very strange.
It was good.
Yeah, because you then picked up that it wasn't quite a child as well, and we had Ben Winfield and Louisa as well, who do demonology.
Well, Ben's like me. He picks up on the darker elements.
Yeah. So there's certainly something dark there, wasn't there? Which. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ben later or Lou later said that it wasn't a child, and that like I was duped into believing it was a child, and they reckon it was a shape-shifting demon monster, which they had to lock away in a stationery cupboard or something, seal it off. So but I'm with John. I think there was two forms there, definitely.
At least two.
I'm long enough to know when I sense something light work. Of that light energy. I can feel it in my bones, and John, there was definitely two presences there. Yeah. And I think Lou, John and Ben picked up on this dark energy for sure that was holding the child back. And I know it's the old cliche, it's holding the child back. Yes, I know it's a cliche of old, but there was something there that was not nice to the lighter energies in the building, 100%. Now, I'm not looked at the past of the Ashbourne. I don't know, but I'm thinking it's some kind of schooling or some kind of or orphanage, that type of environment. And this child was desperate to run away or escape the clutches of this darker being.
So do you think it was two portals that was crossing?
Sorry?
Do you think it was two portals that was crossing? Like two different.
We definitely found a portal.
Yeah, we definitely found something else, didn't we? Yeah.
In the back room, wasn't
there? And we found another one upstairs as well in the attic.
Yes.
It's weird, when I first went there about 6 years, 5-6 years ago, I was in that room and I did a board and I just had to stop it. I just felt something nasty was coming through the board. So whether it was that presence or who knows, but I wasn't that intuitive at the time either.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know that much then, and I've sort of pick up more now, but there's just something that sort of got my hackles up and I just had to close it down. So you don't know if it's something like that, do you? But yeah, it was that room where something happened. But yeah, I don't like the scrying, but it's an interesting place if you're in the UK. It's Ashbourne Town Hall.
Yeah, Ashbourne in Derby. But the reason we picked that place is we all done a lot of research, and that bar area is the major activity occurs there all the time. The amount of videos on YouTube with people being around that bar area and things happening, glasses moving from the bar, DVP, so direct voice spirits interacting with the people. I mean, so as I said earlier, and John agrees. There's multiple spirits in there, dark and light. So I'd like to know what that room was for sure.
While we were in that room, we were hearing stuff upstairs as well. There's no one upstairs.
I was going to say, me and Dennis, when we was doing that, doing the ferryman experiment, everybody heard somebody coming down the stairs from the attic, and we all turned around to have a look, see who was going to open the door. Nobody there.
The door went a few times as well, didn't it?
Mm. The door was
really got shut. Nobody was the other side of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was a few bangs on the door as well.
Yeah. It was a brilliant night. I did enjoy that one.
It was good.
I've got to go through all the little clips I've got. And I bought that trip light. Whoops.
You bought one?
Whoops.
We were very impressed with the trip lights, so I must admit.
Yeah.
Hey, Jolene.
Once we cracked out how to use them correctly, Joe. Once we cracked out how to use them properly, I think, that was definitely worth it to be in your toolbox for sure.
Yes, I got it from a different supplier, and I've got one coming tomorrow, maybe. Yay!
Nice.
But yeah, I couldn't resist that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is on my list, to be honest. I'm going to get it very soon.
Mm-hmm.
We've been spending a lot on new equipment at the moment, aren't we? So
yeah.
We all are, as a team, we're all buying different things. And
yeah, that's it. You want to do something different though as well, don't you? For your own sake.
That's right.
Like, okay, I've seen the flashing lights. We know, the K2s, all that. But I kind of pick up more. I have conversations with them more, but I still want the validation that they're actually around.
Yeah.
And if you've got something visual like that, that's awesome as well. And if you do like filming of events as well, which is kind of what I want to do more of, then at least you've got something as well, haven't you?
So
if this trip light's lighting up, usually with me it's the cat balls going off, which usually happens. I think my dad's around me, but
yeah, we've gone through a phase of purchasing, especially John. Some of the older school equipment. With tape decks, reel to reel tape decks, and
I've got one here, I think. It's around me somewhere. My
my
granddad's little dictaphone.
Yeah.
Where we sort of went to my dad's house.
But it's all based on the principle that in relation to residual energies can be taped onto various medias.
Yeah.
So not just use an MP3 player or whatever we use, digital. But why can't it be put on in relation to stone tape theory? Why can't it be absorbed in limestone? Why can't it be absorbed on old school 8 high-res tape that John's got?
That's right.
We're using all this different media to create this, if you want to call it a carbon footprint spirit. So that's something we're big into, is trying to look into the medias, because there's a couple of engineers here, especially Neil, all these different medias, fabrics, anything that we can use because it's all conductive, as long as it's conductive.
Right.
Why can't we use the science element to form a basis of our vigils?
I mean, it's like if you go back to Price at Borley Rectory and you got the Warrens as well. They didn't have all this digital technology.
No, that's it.
It's fantastic.
Just use the senses.
So cool.
Exactly.
Loads of good stuff. So I think, why not do it now? Why not try it now?
Yeah, I did get a lot from Saturday. I went to a station. It's a working historical sort of museum sort of station. The trains still go through it, steam trains, things like that. And the greatest thing was I had a conversation, and it's validated by human pendulum. No kit, no flashing lights, and somebody was there who worked at the museum, and they actually knew the person as well. So that was greater validation as well.
Yeah.
So the information I picked up, and it's validated by 2 sources. I also experienced a person's pain as well, which really hurt. It's like, oh no, poor bloke. But yeah.
Really good.
So are you guys old school or merely your experiments?
We mostly new stuff. It's just me really gone back into old school, but just to try a few things extra.
I'm the rod expert.
I must admit, I can't get the hold of them. I mean, I have used them, but I just can't get the.
It seems to work for me.
It's either that or they don't like me.
Russia's got a set that the fire blanks.
I'm rubbish with divination. The divination methods, apart from the calling out part, I'm crap with the rest of it. Actually, I've got the pendulum.
I think it's like validation-wise as well. If you can get a modern digital MP3 recorder or whatever they are, and you can get an old tape recorder and they pick up the same thing, that would be fantastic validation for me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
You can do that, job's finished.
See, that's why voice recorders have always, in my eyes, always been conducted correctly, EVP sessions under the right constraints. No scratching coats, nothing. Because every time we try a bloody EVP session, there's always somebody far too useless. Or we go to locations where you're next to the bloody motorway.
Or you're outside and you got birds.
It's so rare you can do a critical, clinical, EVP session. It's ridiculous.
That's right.
And especially how sensitive the voice recorders are these days.
Yeah, definitely.
Ultra sensitive, but that is still one of the prime validation methods in my eyes. As long as it's a class, it's except the class people, it's got to be proved that it was under the right conditions.
If Bruce got a class 1 EVP at 7:05, we'd all pack up and go home because he'd be done.
That's all you need. Just one class 1 EVP, finish.
I only got 1 EVP and I deleted it.
Yeah.
I lost my voice recorder, so I had to run really well. But yeah, it is hard to get that. But yeah, I've been alone in a place with one other person. I said, right, I'll do an EVP. And the minute I started, they started rustling their coats.
Yeah.
And you just want to lose it, don't you?
Yeah.
You really do. It's like, really?
But going back to validation in general, I mean, it doesn't matter what you put out there. Anybody put anything out there, all the videos. Don't matter if you've got a partial, full manifestation on tape. Nobody's going to believe it.
Do you know, I had this conversation, it was a conversation that was on Simply Spooky, and Dan Winters was talking about this, about, putting stuff up and nobody believing, and you know what, it's right what you're saying. I could stand with a selfie with a ghost stand beside me shaking my hand, and everybody shout, photoshopped, and I'm
my own opinion is it's your own personal experience. You know, your body knows, your senses know what you've experienced, and that should be good enough. And it grieves me. I hate to say, I don't upset people out there, but why does it take somebody who's on the television on, I don't know, Really Channel or Travel Channel or whatever, to under produced environment, everybody suddenly believes, oh, that's the best bit of evidence I've ever seen. So, God bless all the investigators I see on the programs, but they're under strict guidance to produce something. Otherwise, the show's boring. Yeah, they're these investigators' best evidence and best experiences when they're nowhere near a camera.
Well, it's just about like this, Ross. You just have to go and get 2 fire extinguishers, put them down at the end of the hall, and disguise it as a grate.
For people in the US who don't know about that story, basically there's a team in the UK who quite a few follow, and a photo made it to a national paper of 2 twins, apparently, and it's 2 fire extinguishers at the back of a corridor. Whoops.
Well, you mentioned a dragon or a fairy, and oh my God, you're the top of the list.
That's what I mean. It's like everybody who's watching this evening, I deplore you, and there's probably a lot of educated people, more educated out there. But please read, research, read about the Skull experiment, read about the Phillips experiment, read all these old experiments that went on in the heyday. Read about the Fox sisters who were the first. But they was proved to be frauds. But their story is still good in relation to their methods and techniques, even though they fell for public demand and wanted the fame and fortune. So they started faking evidence. But their early days, it's interesting research. I mean, these are all the things that we've studied over the years to get to where we are now in relation to what we bring to people's experiences on our events. And I think everybody out there who's got an interest in it needs to look at the past literature, the archives, what's going on, because there is some absolutely astounding and weird shit out there in the domain. It really is.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I did one of those 25 quid courses, paranormal investigator or some, about whatever. And you get to know the history, and it was intriguing. It was about the start with the Fox sisters, and
there you go.
The different, the beginnings really. Yeah, it was interesting doing that. I know the certificate's not worth anything, but it was nice to learn, really.
Yeah.
Oh, which ones to look up then?
Well, okay. So, particular interest to me was the Skull, SCOLE experiments.
Yeah,
it was a gang of paranormal enthusiasts who created this experiment using film negatives on the old cameras, and you have a look. It looks, the footage is a bit archaic now because I think of 60s, 70s, but it's such an interesting thing they did, and also the Philip experiment, which is more of a study of psychology in relation to paranormal. But it's still a bloody damn good, interesting experiment to do. We want to do it on one of ours, don't we, in the future?
Yeah.
Or a version of it. So.
Yeah.
Because I'm briefly saying it's related to creating a persona or a character. If you create a character, say, for example, I don't know, well, this guy's name was Philip and he was born in the 1800s. What is the relation to calling out and creating as a conjoined consciousness, the conjoined energy? Can we create this character to contact on the other side? Can we form this energy to contact with? So it's like psychology rather than paranormal, if you know what I mean. Our joined minds creating a being or a spirit to chat with. So it did work. It worked, which was the weird thing. So worth a look.
There's some people now meet, and I would have gone there on Saturday actually, who are trying to do a group meditation to try and contact aliens, basically.
Yep. Stephen Gray does that. Stephen Gray.
I really want to do that.
It's all paranormal.
Yeah.
Well, it is. Yeah.
All esoteric. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because we certainly don't 100% know if we speak what we're actually speaking.
We don't know. We don't know.
We just assume it's the spirit of loved ones, or
well,
people are in the building.
That's why I've got a Geiger counter now. I take a Geiger counter with me on investigations just from radiation. You don't know if you're dealing with an alien energy, that's protecting some kind of a security system, alien security system that this radiation is needed because you say you don't know what you're dealing with. You want to have safe environment. So
I was looking at
Chernobyl.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
You're going to need that.
I was looking at electricians for electricians stuff the other day, just in case there's anything I could use in paranormal.
Electrostatic meters.
Yeah.
But they ain't cheap.
Yeah, I was looking for the cheap ones.
Not cheap.
But yeah.
Yeah, if you go down that route, you need an expensive one, really. The cheap one.
If on nil, particle counters for the dust, for all the spirits in the dust.
All the orbs.
Particle count, a million. There's a million spirits in here. It's a million.
Orb meter. We should invent one.
Yeah, marks out of 10 for the face in the orb.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, there it is.
Those yellow circles.
Again, you can't put dust down to everything.
No, I mean, the biggest thing I see is the older the building, the more spirit orbs you get. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not used much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, starting with Dennis, since you've been so quiet, Dennis, that I'm going to throw it out there to you.
This is where we need the translator now.
If you had to go anywhere to, investigate, where would you go?
I'd have to say in America, I've always been drawn to Gettysburg.
Wow, yeah.
I've heard so much about it, and that's somewhere I really do want to go.
It does seem really active as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about UK? Where in the UK would you go?
I'd probably say Tower London. Obviously, you ain't gonna get in there, but the history there, dark history there, I'd love to get in there.
That would be
good. You can do the Queen's Palaces as well.
What about you, Ross?
I'd like to go with John to Boleskine. I'll do. That is on my hit list. Yeah, so Boleskine. Spend a couple of days there for sure.
Well, next year, the year after, you might just be doing that.
Yeah.
I was 1.7 miles away from it camping.
And you didn't
it was in the hills above where I was staying.
You didn't go? Oh my goodness!
I didn't know it was there. I went to the banks of Loch Ness, so I just sat there looking for the monster as you do. And then I noticed, just before that, I parked up, and the area at the church was Boleskine.
That's
like,
what
oh
I would
my
love
God,
to
the house.
Definitely.
So I went and Googled it, and it's on the top road. As I went down to the campsite, it's like, no way. And as I was going down the single track road, I shoved my car in the entrance to it. But it was kind of not far off the single track road, so I couldn't really stay there.
Yes.
Because when I was trying to find my campsite, it was going down this little nearly single track road. And there's this graveyard, and it overlooks the banks of Loch Ness. And oh my God, it just something, it really drew me. Bearing in mind I was looking for a campsite, but I thought I want to go here, I want to park up here. Not realising this was directly at the bottom of the drive of Boleskine House.
Great graveyard as well. Fantastic graveyard.
Yeah, so I was really drawn to it before I realised that
you didn't find the tunnel that runs from the graveyard to the house, did you?
Mythological tunnel.
Allegedly.
I know they always say about a portal that runs between the graveyard and Alistair Cowley's house. What about you, Neil?
Loch Ness, yeah, definitely. Boleskine, just because. Area 51.
Oh, yeah.
Tick it off my bucket list. Just to tick it off my bucket list.
I'll be there with you, Neil. I'll come with you.
In the UK, Draclow tunnels, which for the Americans watching, they probably won't know, but it's not far from where we live, and we've got unfinished business at that place.
I bet
we need to be back there. It needs to be back open because we've got a lot of stuff happen there that we haven't been able to explain, and we need to get back there and try to explain what happened.
I was there with Gary Fields, and he was in the other kitchen area, not the base room. Yeah. And something was really having a go, and he got us all out there quick because there's something really interesting down there.
I'm sure Russ won't mind me telling you, but he's been bad for 2 years with nasal issues.
Yeah.
And that started that night.
Yeah.
No ifs, buts, or maybes. They started. All the issues he had with his nose started
that night. Yeah, definitely.
I can't believe that because I've got theories about things as well. Mm-hmm. I've got a place near me which I have unfinished business with, and I think it even leads to a past life regression, maybe twice as well. Mm-hmm. Well, I've got one link with my past life there in the 1200s, but somebody else has picked up another link later on, so interesting.
Yeah.
So I've got loads of unfinished business for that location, and it's been to my house as well.
I'd like to walk up to the gate at Area 51 and knock on it. Say hello.
Stop that, Neil. I'll just go onto your shoulders and just throw me over.
You know what? This guy must be psychic. I mentioned his name, and who shall it be?
Gaz.
Hi, Gaz.
And Ben's on as well. Gaz and Ben, you're right, Gaz?
Yeah, Gaz and Ben.
What about you, Donald?
Right. I suppose in America it would have been the Winchester Mansion, but I've changed my mind because I'd now like to go to the original Conjuring House in America. Yeah. So I'd just love to see that place, basically because of what was there. The UK, yes, I would say Boleskine House, definitely, but my one I really want to go to the moment is Highgate Cemetery.
Highgate Cemetery. I knew he was going to say that.
Wow. Okay.
Because there's so much there, you know. I don't know if you know the mystery of the Highgate Cemetery vampire. Have you heard of that? Go on to Google Highgate Cemetery vampire. You read that story, and you'll be quite amazed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
I don't think, Neil, to shit on your parade. Sorry for the swearing, that'd leave everything at 51 after all of the publicity. I think they moved a lot of it to the Dulce base, DULCE base, because I've read.
It's round the corner, isn't it? Like 500 million miles away.
That's apparently where they've got the 11, I think it's 11 or 13 different types of aliens in the base, apparently. So, you know, the Nordics and all the like, they're all hidden in the Dulce base.
Yeah. You would move them though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
Like if everyone knows that the aliens are there, either not it's weather balloon, whatever.
Yeah.
Then they're going to shift them out, aren't they?
It was never a weather balloon.
Never a weather balloon. Never. I agree with you there. Never.
Oh wow. We've got a mass trip then to Area 51.
In my family.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So then, Jono, have you ever been scared?
I come from a very dark background, I'm afraid. So no, nothing would scare me.
Nothing.
I know when people will get scared. If there's a dark energy there, I know. My guinea pig is actually down there. That way. That's my guinea pig.
Hello.
If I'm ever at an investigation, I'll say, "Oh, Neil, can you just stand over for me a bit?" And normally something.
Yes.
Wow.
And then Neil throws up.
I've been physically sick on a couple of 3 occasions, thanks to John.
I can never apologise enough, to be fair. But...
So was it a public event then?
It was.
Oh dear, I need to keep away then, don't I?
Yeah.
There was Drayclough, there was the church, well,
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the church.
Emma Vernon's church.
Oh
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, by the gravestone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
You threw up on somebody's grave, bloody hell, Neil.
No, by the grave. It was in the trees.
In the trees.
You would have cleaned up after it.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
That's an interesting story, and we're going to cover that on our Paraflix show that we do for Paraflix in the USA. So I'm not sure if you know about Jackie yet. Jackie, we filmed for a Paraflix Paranormal Network, which is
I put on the intro that you did Paraflix.
Yeah, I watched Paraflix. It's a really good channel.
Yeah, we got a show on there, Louis, called Bizarre Dimensions.
Is that your show?
Yeah, we're in season 2 now.
I need to watch it.
Okay, and we're gonna do one at what's the name of the church, John?
I can't remember the name of the church.
Emma. It's the story of Emma Vernon, which was.
We don't want to go all the way anyway, do we? Get the story done first, then we can.
She haunts the cemetery, and it's a really sad story, to be honest.
Wow.
And she fell out with her family, who owned the area.
Right, doesn't it?
Yeah, they even put her grave outside of the boundaries, didn't they, away from the family?
Oh no.
That's why she fell out.
I banned her from being buried in the family crypt because of what she did.
Yep.
The church is lovely as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Knights Templar stuff there.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Dennis, then, have you ever been scared?
Not really. I've been nervous, but the other week we did Sonic Baths, I was a bit scared because someone kicked the chair into me. I flung out the chair, going mad. But yeah, apart from that, I get nervous. But then I just I want something to happen, so I just calm down, do your breathing, But apart from that, no, I want to be scared, like something to happen. But
it's a bit like a stuntman, Dennis is.
How's the face?
And you won't wear the seatbelts and the safety helmet and the glasses and stuff like that. He just dives in.
Yeah.
So no one's had any really stories where they've legged it then, or screamed, shouted. No?
What's the point? You got to hang around, haven't you? Find out what's going on.
Well, I'd never leg it. I've screamed accidentally a couple of times.
That's what we're there for anyway, isn't it? You know,
we're
going to run away and miss it all. There's no point
I did scare a ghost once. I was at the village in Mansfield, another place which is gone. That was a brilliant location as well.
That's gone.
So it was a former abattoir, former nightclub, and some monks died there as well when it used to be a monastery. So it had a lot of history and a lot going for it, right near a church as well. So awesome place, it really was. And I was in this room and it's set up like Aliens. It's a sort of shooting game thing, airsoft at the time. So I was just standing there and I got this dark mass next door to me. I looked, I saw it, I screamed. It ran and set the REM pod off.
That's good.
So I scared a ghost. Because they said, "Oh, how do you know it's you saw something?" Then the REM pod went off. There you go. Then what more do I need? Yeah, because sure you catch things out the corner of your eye and they're over there and it's whatever. But this was out here, and you know when it's there, don't you?
Yeah.
We had a mass one once, didn't we? At Smethwick Baths. where we were all sat in a great big circle. There's got to be about 20 folks all in this circle, and nothing had happened for about half hour. And John, for those of you who don't know, has got a doll named Charlie, and Charlie there's Charlie. And he wasn't playing ball, he was really quiet. And John got angry with him in the end and says, "Come on, Charlie, do something." At that point, there was three almighty bangs on this door, stood right next to where John was, and the whole room went, "What?" went ballistic. John opened, thinking on his feet, he opened the door straight away. Obviously, there was just a corridor there. There was nobody there in the corridor at all. But we shut the door and thanked Charlie very much. Bless his cotton socks.
Yes, Charlie, I've met Charlie. Yeah. I actually introduced Charlie to my doll. Yes.
I'll give one them both together, to be fair. Going back to what you were saying before, didn't that bring a question to us? Do they see us the same as we want to see them? How do they see us? Are we a shock to them as well? If they're a shock to us, you know what I mean? When you
definitely. That's what I've always thought about the paranormal, is that obviously it's like parallel. Well, the way I always describe it is Stargate. It's Stargate Atlantis, you know, the different worlds. I always describe it as that way. I am quite geeky.
I equally ghosts, I mean spirit, so.
Yeah, I've had a conversation in Drake Lane with some people, and they saw us as a shadow, which is what I think, like, they're on about shadow people, but I think a shadow person is just us seeing them, really, rather than anything more. You know, it's just us somehow managing to catch sight of them, and in the same way that we can appear as shadows to them, apparently. So
It's
if we're
actually,
on a different dimension, it's a question, isn't it?
It's one of Russ's top 10 spirit box questions. He always asks, "How do they see us?"
How do they see us? Yeah.
And what do they say?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
I can always hear somebody's coke.
That's annoying, really, because they have the opportunity. Because I was speaking to the spirit the other day, and with somebody doing the human pendulum, and basically a person we were with knew the guy who had passed, and we were like asking him more off the wall questions, and that would have been a good one to ask, really. I did sort of ask, is there a God? But yeah.
I think as well, if you look at the science based on it, you talk about parallel universes and quantum mechanics, quantum theory, string theory, wherever you want to play it. When we pass and we're an energy, and energy lives on, we all know that it supersedes matter. Energy moves on, transfigures into another form. This energy we're communicating with, what speed is it running at? So, for example, they could be here with us now and running at super fast forward mode, times 60 frames a second, more than we are. So when we capture things, are they in fast forward mode? That's why you only get fleeting glimpses or fleeting responses. So there's all this science and mechanics all behind what they do, It's so interesting, especially if there's different dimensions and different speeds or different visualizations, different frequencies, different vibrations. As we all know, the universe is based on a vibration. So if they're running at different vibrations, we're going to catch some that are ultra slow, some that are ultra fast. I mean, it's just an absolute minefield.
Yes.
Sorry about that. I thought I muted my mic, but I didn't. I muted Dennis's.
That makes sense.
I thought you were going to
It's all interesting, though, isn't it? I love the theories you get with it, and you try and prove things, and then something just blows it out of the water. But I kind of wonder, like mediumship, like if you go and you see a psychic medium, and they get your loved one coming through, giving you a message about the future. Well, it's like time traveling, then, isn't it? Totally.
Yeah,
you know, so they can go there, can come back.
But time, this is nothing. Time is linear.
Yeah, exactly.
In the universe, time does not exist.
It's
time
not
is
the same.
man-made mechanism. Time is linear in the universe. So if we go to out off this planet, time does not exist. So you know what I mean? So how can you tell what's in the future, what's in the past? But I don't know. You know, I'm no psychic medium, but you know, it's a pseudoscience at the end of the day. It's unproven, and we've all got our own theories and possibilities.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about paranormal as well. As long as the theories can't be proven, like dust, where you know there is a logical explanation.
Yeah.
With photography, and I'm not saying that everything an orb is actually dust, because maybe we're ruling out too much. Who knows? You know.
Well, we'll be the first to try and debunk it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd rather debunk something than think, well, what is it then? What could it be? We always look for debunking first.
I always debunk.
Some people might want to believe though that the dust is spiritual, like say if they've dropped someone recently, so they might feel better seeing that and believing that that's someone visiting them. Whereas to us, we see it as dust. We're being seasoned investigators.
So what we do is we see it as dust first, and then we try and find out if it isn't.
Yeah, that's it.
What we tend to try and do.
See, there's a serious aspect though. There's a serious aspect to dust and what it does to people. You've seen the cases that we've been on, John, where we've gone to do spirit rescue, and there's families literally obsessed over the CCTV footage in the children's bedrooms.
Yeah.
So there's dust and there's moisture being captured on these poor quality infrared cameras, flying around. You know, bugs, insects, moisture, fabrics. Fabrics are terrible on an infrared camera.
Well, moisture is good as well.
To believe in it, but it just flies around. And these families are watching their kids and saying, "Oh, it's great Aunt Edna's come back to protect. I need house cleansing. I'm very uncomfortable. There's cold spots, you know." And they obsess over the footage that's going on. Turn them off.
Especially when there's children involved as well. I mean, you get a bit of moisture on a really old, you know, a low-grade camera, and it can look like someone walking across your screen. It's just moisture on the lens. That's all it is.
But the mental aspect of it, of you believing, and if you think about something and repeat over and over in your head, you believe things. So if you're watching an infrared CCTV system with all this dust and particulate flying around, you know, and you've got in your head that spirit, it's going to start playing on you, and then everything becomes paranormal. So you walk past an open window, a cold draft, you know, it's just
it's the power of suggestion.
Yeah, as well.
Yep.
I mean, don't get us wrong. We do house cleanses. We have done some house cleanses, and we have found some really dark spirits in some of these places. A lot of the time, we can just put it off as moisture on the camera.
Yeah, that's right. But I've had about 2 to 3 times. One specific was an event, and I took a photo of the guests at the event. And Viv, who does a lot of paranormal, you probably met her, Viv and Adrian. I took 2 photos, and then she says, "Spirit, will you walk into this photo?" That photo, there was an orb in it. Okay. So I was in the Salutation Inn, which is an old pub in the UK. It was in the cellars, which are basically dry cellars, but it's a cave, so there will be dust and moisture and everything else. It was the timing of it, and all night it took loads of photos.
Yeah,
and that's the only one with one of those marks in it.
Yeah,
one of them, isn't it?
We're not denying it. There's definitely spirit energy shows itself in various forms.
Yeah,
for sure. Now we've witnessed green glowing orbs, you know, a ball shaped, just floating around.
Wow.
You know,
with your eyes.
Your own eyes.
Yeah.
When you visualize it, you can't deny it. But I mean, technology is not reliable at all. You should know, you know, especially for hunting something of this nature for sure. But yeah, I mean they do exist for sure. Just capturing.
Yeah. I've seen them. I've seen spirit lights about 3 or 4 times, and when you see it, it is fascinating. It really is.
Yeah, we saw that. Neil, we saw the one, the blue, and you did, Dennis, didn't you, at Four Crosses at Cannock the other
Four Crosses,
week?
Yeah.
The blue one?
Yeah, we had it was just a K2 meter, but above the K2 meter was a little tiny blue light that kept flicking on and off, and we ain't got a clue what it was. Yeah.
And occasionally as well, when you look at the K2, it was going dark as if there's like a little hand going over the K2 light.
Across it, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But this blue light, how many was there? There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. We all saw it.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And
it weren't
just like once. It was on and off for about 20 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a blinking Christmas tree light, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was appearing in different areas.
Little twinkly Christmas lights.
In different areas of the cellar, weren't it? It was like going to the back of the room, then it's coming forward, then it's over the K2 meter. Wow. So it's like kind of intelligence to it.
Yeah, that was all we got down there, wasn't it? Just a K2 meter and ourselves.
Back to basics.
Yeah. I think the weirdest light show I've seen was a Ouija board. So I think we'd used it, and then it was like left on a table, and they approached the table. There's all this glitter just above it, and it's just floating above it, and it's all sparkly and beautiful. Wow. And I thought, what the hell? So I kind of looked away, closed my eyes, and it's still doing it.
Brilliant.
And I mentioned on my page that I'd seen that, and somebody else had seen the same thing somewhere else. And it's just beautiful, seeing the energy, and oh wow.
Undeniable. That's why when you walk into spirit, it's electrostatic charge. That's why your hairs come up on your hair and your head. You feel
it does really.
This electrostatic field for sure. And obviously, if there's enough of it, it can produce matter in relation to light forms. Yeah. Brilliant, really is.
Oh, it's fascinating.
50-year-old fluorescent light tube at Draglow.
Oh, that
yeah. So what happened there then?
There was a tunnel.
You got saying
one of the small. It's the right by the demon tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel, there was this old. I can't think what it was. It was like a motor. Obviously disconnected, it wasn't working, rusted up, never worked for years and years. And we was all stood at the other end of the tunnel, and it was John who said, I can sense, well, first of all, John could sense something down this tunnel. And he was adamant that there was something down this tunnel. And then Russ suddenly said, I've just seen a blue light. And we all turned and looked at this tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel, there was a blue light, travelled, and if you can imagine, this is like if for people who don't not electricians, that conduit is where your cables run to feed lights, etc. And this blue light went up this conduit. It lit up this fluorescent tube, which basically hasn't been lit up for 50 years, probably.
Yeah.
There's no wires to it, nothing. No. Then it travelled right the way along the conduit, coming towards us. We was all stood right next to another fluorescent tube, and it went to that tube, and it turned it red, blue, and green, and then went off.
My God!
And
wow!
I started to track. That's when I saw that it got to be static. So I started tracing the wires back to try and find the source and all this.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it. Well, the source actually went into the ground and died, disappeared. To this, all it was pure. Just happened, as far as we can tell, the 4, 5, 6 of us who were there, our energy, and something triggered this static charge, and away it went. And it was it. But Dennis had got his camera and he was filming it, and the camera died. So we never got it.
I think he must have drained my camera as it was doing it.
Yeah. So we never got it filmed. But it's etched in all our brains. We'll take that to our grave. It was an amazing thing.
Personal experiences. You tell someone that, they think, that's far fetched, but we've all experienced that.
Yeah,
and you can't
you
beat
had
it,
to
really.
be there.
No, but the thing is, it's whether you know the storyteller, whether you trust the storyteller. I've worked with you guys. I know you don't talk rubbish. Well, you might have a few laughs, but you know, if you say something happened, it happened. You know, I believe that.
Oh, it did happen.
On the night, nothing happens on the night. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, you can't make them play. You can't make them perform.
Do you think cameras actually stop things from happening as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
They know what we're doing.
They do.
Isn't it? Like you say.
Jan as well trusts you as well. But yeah,
we've had things happen just as we've turned the cameras off. You know,
that's always sod's law. That is, or there'll be no activity, and then you're ready to pack up. 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, bang, and you're like, seriously, you're kidding me on?
Yeah.
That's Russ, that is. Everybody else is packing up. I'm just going off to do something. Yeah. He'll disappear for 10 minutes and he'll come back with, I've got this EVP.
Nice. Any chance I get.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It is hard to get the right moments to an EVP, though.
Yeah, very, very, very hard, yeah.
Because
It might be that they can actually sense the energy from the battery, the static. You don't know, and then thinking, "Oh, what's that?" And the minute you turn it off, it disappears. I think, "Oh, I'm okay now."
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
There's definitely a link. There's definitely a link to it all. I'm sure. You know, people say it's moisture that turns your camera off in the cellars, but we've had it happen, haven't we? You know, I was at Hitchinbrook the other week, and I was in the library, and I was calling, and there was nothing. It was dead. But then my camera, my GoPro went. It just died, and then I thought, "Here we go. It's got something to say now." And as I said that in my head, a book on the mantelpiece at the far side of the library started rapping on the shelf, and I was there going, and I started laughing at the spirit, saying, "I know what you was doing, so you can't fool me." It was like being jovial about it. It was weird. Yeah. The intelligence is there for sure.
That's right. I was on some railway tracks. Obviously, I went to that railway place at the weekend, and we're down on the tracks because things had happened there. And a guy, he lost his video camera battery. That went. Then I tried to take photos. My DSLR, right, Nikon, takes 2 batteries. They've been freshly charged, and then they don't work. Now each battery takes about 200 photos, doesn't it?
Yep.
Each one.
Yeah.
You know, I hadn't taken that many. So I need to check if I've messed around with the setting.
Yeah.
And I need to actually have a good look at my camera to see what's happened, to check all the settings in the background to see if it's stopped. You know, usually like it goes on to turns itself off, doesn't it, after a while? But a bird.
That's moisture in the air that turns you back, decreases the energy levels in your battery or turns the thing off. It's a load of crap.
Yes.
There's correlation between spirit and the energy that these high-powered bits of equipment are emitting that they can use and tap into for sure. That's why, you know, investigators need to. I think we already have. There's like EMF pumps, isn't it? You can use there's negative ions in the atmosphere you can change to create these environments for the spirit to feed, the spirit to use. So I think Tesla was onto something, weren't he, in relation to what he used to do in his experiments, but I just think they're a bit dangerous to have on the location, you know, some generator with the...
No, we're not doing that,
Russ. Not yet.
No, generators on site.
Yeah.
And again, there's so many different levels as well. So click on that level.
Like, but I also know my camera. And you know that you've taken cameras out in all sorts of conditions, taken photos of whatever. That's fine. You know, it's gone out in the snow, the rain, everything. And it wasn't like, it was like 8 degrees on the tracks, calm night. and it's drained. So yeah, I've got to look into it more. And just haven't got it out yet.
As you
You
say,
never know, the batteries might be full. I don't even know that yet. That's happened before, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where the batteries get drained, something doesn't work, you've got nothing on your mobile, it's all gone, and then you leave somewhere and then it's like half charged. What?
Exactly. But I do think there's a feed for spirits for sure. And as John says, there's probably different foods for different layers of spirit, isn't there? I believe there's a link there somehow.
Yeah, I mean, one of my questions has always been, if you get two mediums in a room, are both those mediums going to pick up on the same spirit, or will they pick up on different spirits in different timelines?
I think that's always...
Say you work on different levels, so you've got your chakras, and I work from my stomach, I know that. But yeah, people work from different levels, so whether someone working on that level picks up something from a different... I don't know. But I work with people. I don't call myself a medium, but I do pick things up. But I work with people, and I've linked in, and we've got the same image, and we've been able to have the conversation and bring more and more, and work on who's come through.
And that's you just no different to what we, as investigators, that we do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we think our job really, if you have a medium on an investigation, we work with some fantastic mediums. We really do.
Yeah.
We work with ones we trust. So
definitely.
We think our job, one of our jobs, is to validate what the medium is coming out with. So if they find a spirit and they talk about spirit, our job for us is to try and validate that spirit.
Yes.
Find some evidence, get physical evidence, or EVP evidence that spirit is there.
That's right.
I mean, there's a lot of...
That's what you need.
We only work with ones we trust, like I said, but there's an awful lot of mediums out there suddenly coming out of the woodwork from every direction. How can you validate what people are saying unless you have the proof?
Yeah. And just because somebody says that I don't, I'm cynical about everybody.
Yeah.
And, I do know a lot of decent mediums.
Yeah, so we only work with the ones we work with time and time again, to be fair.
That's right, yeah.
Fantastic ones we work with, Gary, Jolene, Andy. We try and keep the people we know, ourselves, and the people we trust. There's an awful lot of people out there just suddenly coming out of the woodwork and saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm a medium." Dennis could do it tomorrow. Go to someone tomorrow. Has someone died in your family? Well, yeah, there's a good chance someone's died in the family, So Dennis could do it tomorrow morning if he wanted to be.
That's what I said on my first, I went down the development route basically for a laugh.
Yeah.
Okay, because I did go stunting every 2 weeks, and then the other fortnight it was mediumship, and I just didn't believe it. And I says anyone can stand in the corner and go, "Oh, is there a John there? Oh, he likes blue." Oh yeah, everybody, So that's what I did right in front of these mediums.
Yeah.
And I realise that now that there might be a bit more to it now, but I say what I think.
It's my worst nightmare. It's my worst nightmare going on an evening where you've got like 8. You've got to look after 8 mediums.
That's right.
Because they're all not knocking them. They're obviously perhaps 4 of them are legit, but they're all picking up on different layers. And they're all relaying different stories, and they're all interacting. And they'll go, "Whoa, hold on, let's concentrate on one layer, one piece of information."
That's right.
It becomes a nightmare.
The funny thing that we do as a team, okay, now this is no disrespect to anybody who comes on our ghost hunt investigations, but if we could normally spot the one who's going to get possessed. Before we start, that's the one who's going to get possessed tonight. 9 times out of 10, we are spot on.
To be honest, John, it's not our guests who come. It's when we go on other people's days, other people's nights.
Yeah.
You can see them walking through the door. They're going to have a walk. They're going to be rolling around. And Dudley Castle, remember Dudley Castle?
To say, it's no one who comes on our own investigations because we trust everyone.
We've got brilliant following you.
Fantastic.
But remember that the lady walked in Dudley Castle and they come in, she was looking around, and then We all said, yeah, walking. And
Yep, this one.
12:30 on the floor, rolling around. And we're stepping over.
I mean, we're not even joking. This is actually happening. You know.
Yeah. There's somebody I know of, and I went, and I didn't know this woman got possessed every time she went there. She basically got threatened that if she did it, she'd be like locked in a room or something. But yeah. And somehow she didn't get possessed that night. For some reason.
Do you, as a medium, do you think if you are with someone who has the gift as well, can you
I'm not a medium.
Can you tell who's got it or not?
This came up. This came up in a conversation on Saturday. Actually, I think as people, we're drawn to people, and I find now I'm drawn to more spiritual people naturally.
That's right.
And it's weird. I kind of really am drawn to spiritual people, and I kind of trust these people more than you probably would a normal person. What can you say? It's not the right word, but oh god, the bird.
I think John's hitting the point in relation to, like, you know, you go out, oh, is that world famous medium or wherever, and they walk in and you're there with all these thousands of pounds worth of equipment, all these years of knowledge on investigating what works best, but they walk in with a posh suit on and shiny shoes, and then they take centre stage, and then whatever you do, whatever you capture on equipment or anything else, I just don't want to know. And then everybody seems to follow what the medium's saying because they're a powerful being, if you want to put it that way. You know, as I say, this is why I love the mediums we work with, because none of them have got this barbaric showmanship about them.
Yeah, that's right.
They help us. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to help each other. But when you see Showtime Charlie like that coming, taking over, going into trance every 2 seconds, and you just shake your head and think, you know, no wonder the paranormal's got a bad name in the UK, you know.
That's right.
We need to take it to the extreme as well. It's not only these wannabe mediums, it's just the wannabe exorcists all coming everywhere as well.
Yeah,
we got so many suddenly coming out of the woodwork. What's going on? You know what I mean?
Or do they take handcuffs on investigations?
Yeah.
I am saying nothing about the handcuffs.
Like, so many of these teams now in police uniforms, and what's going on?
Cartridges in the
bit of bondage, yeah, they do dress up for occasions, don't they? Yeah.
It's like John mentions mediums, but the demonologists are appearing everywhere, you know.
We know some good.
And
we do know some good ones, though, don't we? We know.
Yeah, they've actually been there, done it, joined occult practices and researched for 30 years. You know, read the Lesser Key of Solomon and all these old scriptures and studied things. But people today will watch The Conjuring, see the head walking around with his crucifix and his EVP player. I want to do that. And next day, I'm a demonologist.
We've seen people on lives, I mean, like middle of nowhere, calling on devils and calling on Satan himself.
I'll fight you, Bale. Come on, one live on. What the hell?
I know you.
Come on, I'll arm wrestle you now.
Yeah,
on live.
I would love him to just turn up on one of them, take the souls away. What fantastic TV that would be!
Yeah, it would be brilliant.
It doesn't work like that.
What level of respect does these type of people have for the team around them, calling them dark forces? Do you know the issue in relation to mental health on negative spirit can have on people? The mental health issues it can cause. I mean, they've got no respect just to get a like on Facebook or on YouTube. And what's that going to do for people?
Yeah, that's it. I picked up negative attachments, and it's been horrible, you know.
Of course,
And it does impact on you. And God, it's the worst holiday I ever had.
Why would you want to put yourself and your friends in danger just to get a like or a star?
No.
I mean, Ben, if Ben's still watching, me and Ben are very similar to each other. So we study the dark side very, very much. But even myself and Ben don't go out there calling in Satan to come and have a chat. You just don't do that, you know. No. It's the last thing you probably want to do ever on the earth.
Is this like pick up the phone and speed dial? Do you fancy coming over for a coffee?
But any intelligent, military person, it's obviously us, it's paranormal. Know your enemy. So what John said, it's knowing your enemy. I'm not saying I agree with all these naming of negative spirits or Baal and Zozo. I probably don't agree with that. That's just given advertisement.
Yes.
But there are negative spirits for sure. Like there is negative bad people on earth now. There are negative spirits. And they will do you. They will take your energy from you and zap you and change your mental mindset for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I
don't advertise them.
I was at a location and there's this like right grumpy spirit and everyone always him or whatever. He wasn't. He was hurting. He was like, he got an injury, I think, and I think he was so frustrated with all the people coming in and asking daft questions.
Yeah, totally agree.
And I sort of got to understand behind what was going on. And it's frustration.
But you think about it, there's the same people are getting in, well, not the same people, but different people are getting in asking the exact same question. What's your name? What's your age? What year did you die? How long were you been here for? And do you know what?
Sometimes like the 5-year-old.
And sometimes the spirits probably feel like show monkeys, and they're just like, you know what? I'm sick of answering these questions. I'm going to play with you.
Yeah.
I'm sure they just sit back and they watch everyone come in and think, oh God, no, here we go. That one's interesting. So they probably compare notes amongst themselves.
And that takes me back to Russ's thing of would the spirits think about us? And you ask them, they're probably sitting there thinking, oh Christ, there's that motormouth there again.
I mean, if you've got a playful guy who dies and then goes to spirit, that guy is still going to be playful in spirit. So you can turn your cameras off and he's going to do nothing until your cameras have stopped turning. And then he's going to do something to make you think, hello, okay, here we go.
Why can't we start thinking about the questions more? Obviously, when we're on site, as you say, the monotonous things we ask. Why can't we ask them, so what was your problem then? Why are you still here? Tell us what happened to you that's made you this way. Things like that. Would that make a difference? I don't know. But
I mean, what happened you got over?
Don't, for God's sake, after you know he's dead.
It's like we know somebody who don't even give the spirit a chance to talk back.
That is what that. I mean,
I'm telling them the life story. I'm sure
I worked with somebody like that like they had the Panasonic, like the EVP one. And I love it. And it's like a question, right? No gap, question. That ghost must have been like, the spirit must have been like that. What the in the head spinning? Like, what question do I answer here?
What was the first question?
Just woke up, wouldn't you think?
I would just say I to everything.
I've been on Invest and it's an EVP blast. So you go around the group. Okay, somebody will go, how did you die? Blah, blah, all the usual. 15 seconds, 20 seconds between each question, as you do for a team thing. But then you get to one person, he's going on about his, personal life. He's like going, a documentary, mate. Just ask the question. And look, there's a delay, like the phone circuits, there's a delay between speaking. So they've got to have a chance to respond back. So if there's about 70 questions, a chance they can't. But that happens a lot.
And I bet they curse us so much. Well, not us specifically, but oh God, when people arrive.
They're probably like, oh, here
You
they're
see
coming
what funny
again.
things on the ghost hunting.
Wow. So boring the old legs off the spirit ain't the way to go for communication. So we need to look at other methods.
We did try ignoring them completely once, but that failed as well.
You do find that though, because if they do go quiet and then you have a conversation or a laugh amongst yourselves, that's it, isn't it? They all start like doing something like, "Hello, I'm here."
You normally get a bang.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'd love to try, to be honest. One night, just don't take jack shit. Just sit there, have a game of poker, tell jokes, sit there and just have we're aware we're actually in direct contact or asking for it, just to see how inquisitive they are.
I like it. I love that one.
I do like that. I must admit, if I was a spirit and there was somebody's drink, depending what they were drinking, I would just mess with them and drink it.
It's probably the environment. They would love to come and talk to you, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that's why we do a lot of them time slip experiments as well, where we do recreative sounds like air raid sirens in air raid shelters, and the time slip experiments seem to generate the atmosphere and energy of the time period that fit. So I do think there's a lot more that can be done in that area of investigating.
Yeah, have you ever dressed up to go to a location?
Don't ask to dress up.
Costume.
Yeah. Neil, Dennis dresses up as a postman.
And when I'll tell you what, Jackie, when I said that, everybody else was just thinking exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I just want to ask who dressed up as the lady.
We've got the pictures, ain't we, Russ?
Yeah.
Dennis will go dressed up as anything. Dennis will dress up as anything, won't you, mate?
It's been great.
Costume, I'll put it on.
It's been absolutely great talking to you.
Yeah,
you're going to be supporting a charity as well, aren't you?
Sorry.
You're going to be supporting a charity as well?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we basically, we've all encountered, dealt with mental issues on a personal levels and people we know, etc. And we do a lot of work for the Samaritans, and we have done over the years and raised quite a lot of money for Samaritans. Yeah. But there's a local charity to us now called Tough Enough to Care, and they're dealing with mental issues, but and all the effects of all the current financial crisis, the COVID crisis, lots of people losing their jobs, etc. So we're putting a bit of time and effort into that to try and raise funds for them. So we're going to do a lot of charity events, hopefully, and auctions, etc. going forward, just to put some funding down, because the funding is terrible in the UK. I mean, unless you're I'm sorry to talk out of turn, but unless you're well-to-do or a member of some governing body, you'll never get grants for charities. No way. The common man, the working class person, don't get jack. So this are you tough enough to care? He's like a working class type, but it's for everybody, but it's just set up locally to us that we can, it's run from Wednesbury Museum, which we're doing an investigation at.
Oh, awesome.
And the group goes there, once a week, and just to have people to chat all their issues, clear their heads, clear their mindsets, and talk them down and bring some sense into them, because some of these poor people are desperate. And if we can do anything to help, we're all of us here, we've all had issues, more than likely, and it's just brought our moods down and took us into dark places. So if anything we can do to help people and we can save anybody's mindset, we're all for it. And going forward, we definitely want to help. So
please.
And I will share anything onto Paranormal Path that you do get. So if anybody wants to support the charity, then
I can put it onto my personal profile. No problem.
Oh, thank you, Lou. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, but I wish you luck, guys, on that one. Also, you've got some amazing locations coming up. New locations.
Have we? Yes, yeah. We like we said, we're going for quality rather than quantity this year. So, yeah, we've got quite a few. Russell, do you want to do all the details, Russell, or do you want me to do some?
You do them, mate. You do them, yeah. So,
okay. Well, one of the first ones we're going to be doing is the Saturday on the 30th of April, the Park Hotel in Morecambe. First time for us. Some amazing background to it. 1843 building, purchased by John Watkinson. A lot of things happened there. It may be doing the Wednesbury Museum, which has never ever been done before. So this is the first for the museum and for us. It's now an exclusive Wednesbury Paranormal venue, which is going to be awesome. We're not going to give any background on this place at all because we're saving that for the night. So a lot of things there. We have Apedale Mine in June 11th, which is going to be an extra experience to say the least, including a mine tour and then an investigation later. The mine tour itself is going to put it's going to give some real energy there.
Very, very deep mine as well, drift mine. Yeah. So.
You trying to put me off it?
No, you're coming on.
We'll look after you, don't you worry.
I really don't like enclosed spaces.
You'll be fine. Our insurance wouldn't cover it otherwise. In July, we're doing the Manor House in Wednesbury as well, which is another local one to us. We've been trying to get for ages and ages. Yeah, right behind Russell. Still tickets available if anyone local wants to go. Yes, so this place we've been trying for a long time to get on here. I mean, it's funny that we've said this so many times now. We're more known in America than we are in our hometown. So this has just opened the door for us now in our own hometown. It's the first time this year we're going to be doing local investigations. Or something.
Yeah, I've never done. Well, I've been to a couple of places in my own town, but not organised by me. So yeah, it's an idea.
I think, John, I think a lot of it to do with that local. I think Wednesbury, especially. I think, and I'm from Wednesbury myself. I think half of us can't read. They can't read. So.
What was it?
We got.
We have some more to be announced yet. We have some more really interesting places to be announced. We're going to do a few ghost walks this year, some more ghost walks. One of them is going to be really interesting subjects locally again. So yeah, we've got quite a few things coming up.
Fantastic. So it's Wednesbury Paranormal. I'll put a link up onto the pages if you want to follow them. If you want to book on events as well. But thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you
as well. Fantastic. But thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for chatting. And take care, everyone. Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Take care,
everyone. Bye.
See you. Bye.